Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Let's get right into it, I guess. So yeah, today I want to see if we can maybe not necessarily get the mesh working for the terrain again after the regeneration of an edit, but at least get the octree in the pack. I mean, although at that point it's probably not that much to get the mesh anymore back as well. Yeah, we still have those, which we will address later. But yeah, so that's the edit mode, right? And we get the hit position already, and let's try to get yeah, the edit of the actual octree. For that, is YouTube dead again? Yeah, of course it is. I don't know. We might not have a lot of music today. YouTube is like very, very weird today. Let me actually try to open that video with like a long runtime. Maybe that works better. Maybe that's better or not. I don't know. Let's see. We will find out. But yeah, YouTube is a little bit scuffed today. Alright, so I mean, I don't really need to move, but what I want to do is up. Oh, god damn it! That was not even close to what I wanted to write. So I want to have an update octree shader where we do almost the same as here. We might. Let's see. I'm not sure about that yet. So that is fine. We get that back. We probably have a new list of word octree chunks here, I would assume. Or maybe not actually. I'm not sure. See, I had something in my head and now I'm not sure anymore if that works. Because what I thought is that we iterate from the top down and we can collapse those nodes right away. Wait, did I not write something down? Somewhere? Yesterday? Maybe not. Ah, great. I think... Did I have... Did I have the idea that... That could work, right? If I get back in my octree thing here, we have that. We have data offset, and we have a bool is for data. And then we have this. We have this. And then we have this shifted by 23. And this data offset with the mask for 23. So it is this. And this. And then this is a UN64T. And then we shift it in. And I mean, this can be a UN64T as well. I don't care about that too much. Can I have this as a const here? Offset masks. And I mean, actually it might be one shifted by 23. Let's do that. That should work, right? And then I can do this. And this. Because then I think I can store the chunk information here. With that we can remove the chunk from this chunk list. Or like actually we might... Yeah, see, that's a little bit of a... Or not so easy. Does the top-down approach really work that nicely? I mean, it should. What if... No, that doesn't really work either. I mean, it would work, but it's a little bit cumbersome. I think maybe... No, all of those cases kinda really suck, not gonna lie. I think I need a little bit more thinking about that. I mean, in the case that I want to do, we will not remove stuff. So that's fine. But yeah. We still have to deal with the possibility of removal as well. The thing is, currently this doesn't really have any value. And I'm not sure if we even need it. Because realistically we are not using that for anything. And I'm not sure if we will ever use it for anything. So the question is, can we make it simpler by just ignoring this one? How about we run one shader that tries to determine the root, or like, yeah, as I said yesterday, the biggest branch that encompasses, like the tightest fitting branch that encompasses the change. And I mean, I guess we can easily find that, right? Because isn't that just the leaf node basically closest to this chunk? But with the octree we are faster there. Maybe that's the issue, right? Because here we have like potentially millions of objects. Here we are very quick at the change area. But we can still do that, right? can still iterate top down to the area where the first change is. But then we're basically what I'm trying to do here. Maybe we just make that. Because the biggest problem I have is this one currently. I mean, what we could do is maybe add another layout here. Chunk list. U and count, U and free list. And we put that there. And then we have another buffer here. Maybe. Add a, I don't know. Oh, we can move those up again, and then we have that padding there used. We don't do that. Or we kinda do that. We kinda do that. Now we just iterate all the way through here. Where we do that. Now we get the octree node. Or do we need to? No, probably not actually. Actually, we can just evaluate it again. And we basically get the old one. Unpack octree node. Like we guess we can, yeah, no, let's do that. Unpack octree node. That is pack. And that is basically if our U constants octree count is greater than the flat index, right? Otherwise we just have a new octree node here. Although, can that happen? I mean, yeah, it can, right? Yeah, it can. Hello, what's up? Hello, hello. Welcome. So can that happen is the question. I mean, not really if we play nice with the octree. I think then this cannot happen. And then we still do that. Kinda. So here we split. For node we do all of that. And we... Well, okay, no, not really. Pool should split is old node dot valid mask is not node valid mask. And then we have another one, should collapse, which is basically old node leaf mask is not node leaf mask. That is basically the two cases, right? Because this is a collapse, this is a split. And then if we should split, well, we go in here to go deeper. So that's still valid. Oh, we need a little bit more logic than that then. So if our octree is valid and our old node is as well 0, then there is no change, right? Although we can actually probably handle that here. So here we do that, that's fine. I don't really know if we need that, but okay. And then if should split, then we do this. Heirs, octree node, children offset. Or we don't actually need to do anything, right? Because then it's already valid. And then we still do that, that's fine, because we want to traverse down. I'm not sure if we need that. Is it max depth? Ah, I think I know why I did that. Yeah. Let's that is probably in here. Let's do that, and let's actually do octree data offset. Then we do all of that. That is chunk start index. And this is octree flat index. Ah, that's just a debug print, never mind. Is max depth. I mean, we can still do that, right? Ah, that was 0. Wait, was that 0 for a reason? Ah, that's the chunk index. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Ah, because we set it here, right? Yeah. So that is basically if we are relief and if should collapse, then we do this. Not sure why that is like that. And then yeah, we definitely want, or we don't want a surface request unless we are changed. So maybe it's like that. And then this is basically that actually. Maybe actually that's fine then like that. That might be right. That one I'm not so sure yet. So if we split, then there is the possibility that... Oh yeah, we need to handle Okay, yeah, we need to handle a little bit more down there. But if we split... Let's get rid of that for now. So if we split, we check if we are a new split. Or basically, let's call it should split changed. And then we do this, which is allocating new children. We want to iterate down the children. Hey, Sadashaw, thank you very much for the raid. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome. We are working on our terrain generation. It's going. So if you see, we have our beautiful sphere here. That's like a terrain 64 kilometers big. And we have, like, for example, this sphere in the top and the middle. It's I can show it actually in render doc. It's a little bit more impressive there, maybe. So if we take a sample here, right, then you see the amount that's actually generated here. So that's like 500,000 triangles here. And it's like LOD, so at the border of the, as I said, like this is like each side here is 64 kilometers. So it's like massive. But closer away from the camera and where there is not a lot of detail. Like one of those triangles, it's like, I think 16,000, so 16 kilometers. But then close to the camera, where our sphere is, we have like a nicely tessellated sphere. Hate that it does that with the arc bore. So we have that, and the triplanar shader, of course, on top of it, so that we render it nicely with the material. And yeah, we are currently, or I'm currently looking at, so I added this view where you see where the cursor is basically, and we have a sphere brush. So you can go here and in theory, I want to paint a sphere here, right? In like that shape, and in that size. And we're currently working on that basically. So we added this brush preview that sticks to the terrain wherever we go with the mouse. So that already works. But now we are trying to get the actual edit. And for that we need to update our terrain octree in the background. And I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Basically, how was it going for you? You had a nice stream? What were you working on today? That's fair. I don't know, the last time I did HTML CSS, it's like probably 2005, 2006, somewhere like when I was in school. Like in high school. I think was the last time I did that. Never really was a fan of it, but I do see why it's like useful, right? I mean, the whole every homepage is based on it, so it's definitely useful, but it's just something I could never motivate myself. It's the same why I don't really enjoy doing UI in games as well. It's more or less the same thing where you have like a front end. I'm like more of a engine systems programmer, not so much interface. And how easy it is to use and like put the button there and stuff like that. I'm not like really used to that, or like not really a fan of that kind of work. But it's crazy how far it already got. Like with Tailwind, CSS is like so much easier, I think. But I'm not sure if you use that or if you do the CSS yourself. But but last time I looked at it, like with Tailwind, you almost have almost no pain anymore with the CSS stuff. So that already improved quite a lot. So let's assume that this is the max depth stuff. And then we do that, which is fine. So I think that is all correct here. But here I did the mistake, so actually... Actually, that's correct. So if we enter here, we are collapsing. And before we were not collapsed. But what we need to do is clean up old children. And for that... oh my god, that's a pain. Thinking about that, that's a pain. Because we don't really know how far down we need to go to clean them up properly. Oh, that's painful. I take it back, maybe that's not the way. Maybe the top-down approach is not so good after all. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. So what do I need to do? I have a position, a hit position on the terrain. And then I want to find all affected terrain chunks. And maybe here we already split them in two lists. Where one is collapse chunk and subdivide chunk, or just even an update chunk. That could be, those two could be kind of the same, I think. But realistically, doesn't it make more sense maybe instead of... Maybe actually this part, the find all affected terrain chunks, shouldn't be that, but should be, as I said already before once, find parent of affected chunks. Because then we can collapse chunks that are needed. Or like collapse branches. Then we create new branches. And then we have a list of all leaves, of all new leaves. Because that will produce a list of surface requests. Because we have new chunks. And then this one will create a list of surface requests, and then we can process the surface requests afterwards. The only thing is, how do we find this parent here? Isn't it just that we have the hit position? We convert that to a node position, more or less. We clamp it to a node position to find like the leaf we are in. Find nearest leaf. And then we go up Morton code. To get go up Morton code to parent based on brush size. Because going from top down sounds painful. Or actually maybe not. It would be the first branch where we branch off, right? Where we have two children that want to change something. That's the parent. So we could do it from the top down actually. First parent. Does that work? If we go level by level. Yeah, actually that might work. Actually, that might really work. But the question is, when do we stop? Well, I guess we stop as soon as we have found a hit. Or could that even be... I mean, maybe we do that in like a 1-1. Compute shader, because that shouldn't take too much time to iterate that. We could keep it simple for now. Let's try that. Let's do that. So do we call it here? Let's rename that. Get, or like find, edit, branch, find octree node. Edit find octree node. Yeah, don't like that name. Get closest octree. Nah, that's all not correct. Maybe we do it actually here. We could run that a little bit longer. But will that slow it down drastically if we do that? I mean, yeah, because we only need that if we hit the edit. So let's not do that. We just need to come up with a good name for that shader. Find ray trace octree node. Let's call it that. I don't know. Spawn 1-1. I didn't. Oh, I changed the wrong shader for that, right? Yeah. That was the edit volume, which we probably don't need anymore, but it's the old one, but we will clean up later. So it's this one that I wanted to change. Okay, so we will do a 1-1-1 shader here. Not sure what we need here. We might not need anything here. We might not need that here. So we get the octree. Let's not get chunks for now. Let's not do... Well, I mean, we probably need something like that. Or not that actually, but... Yeah, we need some sort of buffer here. I mean, we could actually have it like that we have this as the kickoff thing. Because it's very similar anyways to the... to the actual one, to the actual split request. We don't do at depth or max depth, I think. I mean, maybe. Do we? What do we use the max steps for? Oh no, yeah, we need... No, we actually don't need that here. Oh no, yeah, we do. Never mind, sorry. We do... Oh no, actually we don't need that here. No, let's keep it. We might need it actually. So that order is fitting. We don't need that. We don't need the node extends. We can get that automatically. Yeah, I'm not sure if we need that. Or we might need a max depth. Don't... Well, I mean... Can't do that. It doesn't really matter. Don't need any of that. We do while while you and node index is 0, while the node index is less than our octree count basically, but we will never hit that anyways. Or we could even do depth. While depth is less than max depth. So we have an octree node. Current node is our u constants at nodes 0. And then we unpack that octree node here. And we have our bounds. So we have that, and then we basically do that. Although I'm not sure if we need to do it that complicated, but we can. So the node extents we need to get from our calculation as well, which is basically that. Although can't I just do... where our float node extends is u constants root size. Do I have that? Okay, I don't. It's basically a root half extends. And this divided by... well, actually this is node extends shifted by 1. Right, so that makes it... well, in this direction this makes it smaller. By a factor of 2. Actually, that doesn't work for a float, right? So hold on. I have 0.5. So we have that. Yeah, I'm not sure if I need that whole Martin thing. But let's leave it for now because it makes everything a little bit simpler for now. Because we have this as a working version. Terrain word octree. Ah, because okay, yeah. So that would be load root size. Is that times 2.0? And then we have. Oh wait, that was our attempt to calculate the node extents, which we don't need. Okay. So we have our center position and everything like that. And now we get our current octree node. And our new node. Does that work? Yeah, I mean, I think it should work. So the camera position, center position, then we have the node extents here. Max geometric error, blah blah blah. And then if our old node dot valid mask is not our new node dot valid mask, or our old node dot leaf mask is not our new node dot leaf mask, then this is the node that wants change to happen. Otherwise, we find our child in the direction of the hit and traverse down, right? I think that should be it. So this one would be otherwise. do otherwise, so we need the hit position here, which we currently don't have. Where actually that works out quite fine here. Oh no, it's a Vec 3. Okay, let's then. Let's move those up there. Then we have here a Vec 3 hit position. Oh, but I don't. Okay, so yeah, that is a bit of a problem because here we are comparing to the current terrain, which of course is not correct. I mean, maybe it's really. No, at that point I would have already spawned the object, right? That would be the idea. At that point I already did whatever I've wanted to do to the terrain, and then this will evaluate correctly. That would be at least the idea. Then I don't really need the hit position actually. Hold on, then I actually don't need that. Because then all of that already kind of works like that. But then that kind of fails a little bit because I don't know where the change is. Actually no, then let's give it a hit position because it helps evaluating the direction we want to go here. Because we don't need to go into the direction where there is no hit. The only question is, how do I do that? I've never done that in that sense. I think it's just... Is it maybe just converting? Converting the X, Y, Z? Basically getting Morton index U and 64 Morton index child is not this, but encode Morton, where we give it our hit position as a UVec 3, actually as an IVec 3, which might fail. So that might not work. No, I mean, let's do a UX3, I don't know. That should give us the Morton index. And we want to get it at a depth though. How does that work here? Do I encode it or do I encode it with the depth? No, right? I just encode it as is. Oh, I'm tired already. Does it work like that? Traverse. God, white mode hits hard. No, that's not what I want. Okay, what is that? That worked absolutely nice, not at all. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I have. I thought I already have that somewhere, but maybe not. Octree depth first iterator. I mean, that's not really it, right? Where did I have that? I'm pretty sure I had that somewhere already. Let's get to my notes. Oh, let's see. Morton code. Is it? Wait, is it really that easy that I convert that to a UVEX 3? And I end it with the depth mask. Well, in this case, the depth mask +1. I need to change the depth mask, right? And that would be depth +1. Then I end that. And then I have a Morton child index. Is that it? So let's assume we have a position of minus. Yeah, that's the problem, right? The minus is a little bit of a problem, but maybe not that much. But let's see, like minus 17,000. Oh, god damn it, I can't type. And then we shift, well, and then we end that with 3. Eh? Why did it do that? Minus 17,000. Okay, then we end with 3. Sorry. With 7. Never get 0. That might make sense. But I think it's the same with this one, right? Maybe that doesn't work like that. Oh, sorry, not 3. Yeah, actually. Oh, wait, 3 times. Yeah, okay, no, yeah. That would have been that. I think my brain is too fried for that today. I thought I had that already somewhere, as I said. I'm not sure where. It's probably not in any of those. Traverse down. No, that's just a brute force traverse. I'm not even sure if that one uses the Morton code. Maybe it's in one of the unit tests. I mean, I have unit tests, but they are not really well maintained, let's say. But let's see what we have. Onyx tests. It doesn't really matter, 32-bit or 64, it's kind of the same. A random Morton code, going left, right, up, down. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think I just have bare minimum tests for X, Y, and Z. Movement of Morton code in C++, not a conversion. But I mean, it would be something like that. Maybe I really need to decode it. And then I have the position. But yeah, I think I can't think anymore today. It was a tough day at work. So I think I will call it a day. And we will continue tomorrow. During the week it's always a little bit hard. But yeah, if Zed is still here, thank you for the raid. Thank you for sticking, for everyone who did. I usually stream every day during the week lately. And on weekends I stream longer because yeah, there is work. And yeah, we will be stuck still a little bit with the terrain for the foreseeable future, but it's like a huge endeavor. So yeah, it's just the nature of that. That is like basically one of the biggest features of the engine that we worked on so far. And I want to make it as nice as possible and not like complete garbage as well in the implementation, and scalable. So it takes a little bit of time and thinking. Anyways, thank you very much. I think I have a plan now that could work. Until I find another thing that I didn't think about. But we will try to keep and stick to it and make it work, even though it might not be optimal at the first implementation. Let's see if we can raid someone as well. Return the favor. Do we have someone that we know? Yeah, let's raid Tim again. We didn't raid him quite in some time. Although he's not really doing something work related currently, so maybe not. Let's go to the water one again. Water is as well on my list, so let's see how far he got with the water shader in Unreal Engine 5. Thank you very much. I hope I see some of you tomorrow. Feel free to follow if you enjoyed the stream, even though it was very, very slow today. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your evening. Bye bye.
Oculus. That looks like water there.